What's up, Spice Droppers? It's Charlie from Ferndale. Bang, 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 bang. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna use one pan and we're gonna make the best Salisbury steak you have ever had. So let's get cooking! Alright, so first thing we're going to do is take one small onion and peel it. If you have a large onion, just use half of it and we'll use the other half for the other part. But we're going to use this first small onion. I got another one here too for later. We're going to peel this first onion. And then we're going to take a cheese grater. I got 6 sides on this thing. And I'm going to use this side. Like medium shredding. And we're just going to shred that onion. We got this gloppy mess here, and we're going to add that to a bowl. Again, get as much out of this onion as you can. And then we're going to add a 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. I'm using plain breadcrumbs. You could use Italian season. You could make your own. You could use panko. But the reason we're incorporating the onions into this, we want to have some moisture in there, and this will definitely help so that the breadcrumbs don't just dry the Salisbury steak out. And then to that, we're going to add 1 egg. Now we're going to just whisk that together a little bit. Get it all nice and incorporated. And now I got 4 cloves of garlic, and we're going to chop these. And again, we're only going to use half of this in the meat, and then we're going to use half of this in the sauce. Alright, we got a nice little mince there. And again, we're going to take half of that and throw this into our breading. Now I have some fresh thyme here. This is a kitchen hack right here. I'm going to pull the thyme through that cheese grater, and it's going to take all those little leaves off that we actually want, because we don't want this part. Let that fall as it may. And then we're going to throw this into that mixture as well. Now we're going to throw some parsley in there. And I don't have fresh parsley, which I should. Some parsley. We got some rosemary. I should also have some fresh rosemary, but they didn't have any at the store. A couple shakes of Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to throw a 1/3 cup of milk in there. And we're going to do some salt and pepper. A little S&P in there. Woo, baby. I got 1 pound of 80/20 ground beef. And now we mix. And this is the fun part. This is the part you can have your kids do. Now I'm going to take a plate. We're going to divide this into 4 even patties. I find it easiest to make balls first. You want to make sure they're all the same size first before you patty them out. I never knew this, but apparently Salisbury steak is supposed to be oval shaped, not circular. So we're going to do 4 even oblong patties. Alright, I got about 2 tablespoons of oil in there. Heated up, ready to go, sizzling hot. We're going to throw our patties in there and let these crisp up on both sides. Alright, it's been, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. And we're going to start flipping these now. And that's that browning we're looking for. We're going to do that to each side and then take them off and put them on this side plate here. Alright, it's been another 3 minutes. We're going to take these off here and then we're going to start making our sauce. I turned the heat off. I'm going to scrape the bottom of this right now before it cools down. And then we're going to set this aside while we get the mushroom gravy ready. Now for the mushroom gravy, I got 6 mushrooms here, and I got my mandolin. I'm going to take the stems out, and we're going to mandolin these mushrooms down into very, very thin slices. Now be careful with your mandolin, because this will cut the heck out of you. Alright, we got our mushrooms here, again, paper thin. Now we're going to bring this back, turn that on heat again. Now I have my other small onion. And what are we going to do, Spice Droppers? Guess. We're going to translucitize these babies. Those onions are getting translucitized. They're simmering beautifully. Now it's time to throw in those mushrooms. Mix those up. We want to get all the moisture out of these mushrooms because mushrooms contain a ton of moisture. This is one of the reasons that I use the mandolin, because surface area, there's a lot more of it now, where these will lose their liquid fast. And getting that liquid out of those mushrooms will probably take about 2-3 minutes. I'm going to add some salt to this mixture, and it's going to act like, you know, when you're a kid and you throw salt on a snail and it just gets all that liquid out. That's exactly what I'm doing here. And it is also a seasoning. So now we're going to make some room in the middle of the pan, and we're going to throw some tomato paste in there. About, what's that, a tablespoon. Let that kind of roast up a little bit, and then incorporate that in everything. And that tomato paste is going to make the sauce a little bit thicker. It's going to bind all of these flavors into the sauce as well. Now we're going to throw this 2 cloves of garlic in there. Mix that up a little, and as soon as we start to smell that garlic roasting, we're going to throw the beef broth in there. So get it ready. We don't want to overcook that garlic. And I can smell it already. It's been maybe 30-45 seconds. I'm going to put the whole can of beef broth in there. At this point, if you were using wine, you would want to put the wine in with the beef broth. I would suggest using a fortified wine like a port. Okay, so we're at a nice simmer now. It's been a few minutes here. I'm going to add my 3 tablespoons of flour to this delicious sauce. We're going to make a nice looking gravy here, and you just want to incorporate that evenly throughout the entire sauce. And you can already tell that it's thickening up. I'm actually going to grab a little whisk here so that we don't get any clumps in there. Ooh, I'm going to grab a different whisk because these are non-stick pans and I don't want to ruin that. I'm going to add a little more salt. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add a little more thyme here. I buy these green onions all the time, but then I never actually use them. So I might as well put some green onion in there, right? Now, we're going to taste don't waste. Look at that though. Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, taste don't waste. Oh, baby, that's good. That's really good. I don't need to add anything except the meat. Throw these bad boys back in there, and we're going to cook that with this lid on medium heat until that meat is at 160 degrees. Probably another 10 minutes. SpiceDroppers, we're here. I just temped it at about 162. It's been, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes. We are looking amazing. I'm going to plate one of these bad boys up. Just taking some of that little Salisbury steak right there. So I'm just going to spoon some of this on here. And look at that. It's just so tender, and it's so hamburgery yet steaky at the same time. I know I usually say we did it again, but we really knocked this one out of the park! Oh! Oh man, this is really good. So SpiceDroppers, peace and love.